So I know it doesn't look super amazing, but it really is delicious and going to fulfill the needs, which I need out here is high caloric, high fat foods. And because of my thyroid and stuff, I do eat carbs. I'm not a low carb maniac. No. I eat carbs. So white rice. Yeah, there's a whole controversy about if brown rice is better and all that. I'll let you do that research for your own self. But has a lot of full fat coconut milk. I added some butter and some olive oil. Yeah, and I'll put this in some Tupperwares and on ice and eat as much as I can because I'm trying to fatten up, folks. Trying to fatten up just because I'm hearing things that not scare everyone, but hopefully the food chain and everything stays together, which I'm hoping it will. But I'm at the attitude of prepare for the worst and expect or hope for the best. And that's trying to be optimistic and not trying to be fear-based, but just being everything I've been doing. I hope it comes off that way. It's not an act. It's just what I'm trying to do is preparation versus panic. So, and just while I'm at it, I'll show you something I use. I use real salt, this brand, and I refill these guys. It is not a sponsor. Nothing is. Nothing will sponsor me. I don't even know how you get sponsors. But ironic if I got sponsored by sodium or salt and I have kidney disease. It's a little more nuanced than that though, folks. So what else can I tell you? That's it right now. I'm ready to eat that rice. I'm going to have some broccoli and a little bit of the grass-fed ground beef I cooked last night, which I'm excited about. And that is that. And then I'm going to hike. I said I was hiking yesterday, and sometimes my body doesn't cooperate on my schedule. So just like this whole thing, I gotta work around it and try to find ways to do things. And I know it's not easy, folks. I know everyone's going through their own thing, and I just hope I can bring some levity. If I'm not doing that, I apologize. I'm really trying, and when I say trying, I'm just putting what I'm authentically doing out here and trying to just not be so heavy about it all. And it's not to make light of the circumstances or take down the fact that people are going through what they're going through. And you know what? I'm gonna put myself on camera instead of just being this audio person. Yeah, we're all going through it right now. And I know some friends are suffering more. I think some people that I know that this is so new to a lot of people, I realize. And the last 15 years of going through chronic illness and being isolated and having to do social distance because of flu or some other pandemic, or being in an area where people don't want to say the word vaccinate. I'm sorry, I'm a big believer in vaccination. Those that aren't, it's okay, and I'm sure you'll unfollow me, just as vegans and other people probably unfollow me. I love you all. I am somebody who's an atheist that calls himself an envious atheist because I support religion and I believe in myself, but my mind just doesn't work that way. And I don't snarkily mock it. I just don't have it for myself. And I also, the same goes for veganism or vegetarianism. If it works for you, I support you. Or if you're on a mezcal or tequila or any alcohol diet and that works for you, breatharian, whatever works. Just don't try to tell me what works for me, and I'm not going to tell you what will work for you. So I had to learn to eat meat again after being a raw vegan, after trying all these things and realizing that my constitution, my body, the way it works, and looking back in my ancestry and everything just brought me back to nutrient-dense foods, especially organ meats, nose-to-tail eating. And I know that's gnarly for some people, but I apologize. It's not my intention to ever gnarl anybody out or to make them, feel any differently about the way they're doing. But the way I had to adapt my life is if I want to survive and help people, because I love people, I love animals. If I have to choose one, I choose people. And call me crazy, because I am. But doesn't mean I don't support animals. I love them like crazy, and I try to eat sustainably as possible. But I also believe there's a lot of privilege in this world where people don't realize that it's a privilege to be able to think through your day and not just survive. Whether you're going through chronic illness, whether you live in a country less developed and you don't have the options of 6 recycling cans and you can go and take pictures and show everyone how good you are at protecting the environment. That's beautiful, but guess what? Not everyone can do that. I'm idling my car sometimes to charge up my devices and making sure I have an emergency phone. I'm something I wouldn't want to do before because of the environment. I can't always recycle stuff and everything because I'm trying to use as little energy for myself to survive so that I hopefully can put out a message to some people who need help navigating the healthcare system and getting resources and stuff I've learned along the way. And I've chosen that for my own self. I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but this is about some of the things I'm going to be talking about. And I don't want to offend people, but I also politely believe that my purpose for this is not even to gain followers or anything. It's to put out a real message and be myself. And those who connect with it will have deeper connections, and it'll be better than trying to cater to all. So that goes for vegetarianism. There was another topic I was thinking of for this, but I just don't want to be dogmatic about anything. And those who are dogmatic and push their values and everything on someone else, please save it for someone else. I know it comes from a good place sometimes, but I think from what I've seen and tried to learn myself, which I'm still learning, and I've run into walls all the time, is that people don't want to hear stuff from you. Even if you have great knowledge in an area, people have to come to you and ask. And I've fucked that up so many times with friends, family, and I hope I'm learning by now. But check me. As I do this, I'm learning. I need to be checked. And, if you feel I'm speaking out of turn, let me know. But I'm going to try to just be as authentic with this and let everyone know that you're entitled to your fears, your anxiety, everything. This is not about positive all the time. Everything is great. Yeah, so just ignore it. Just meditate in front of crystals like I posted today. I don't want to mock those people. I did just for some humor. I know, it's not bad. It's bad sometimes. I don't think the person that was meditating in front of the crystals, if you saw that, who's done some good for advocacy for Lyme disease and other things, but I think we need a wake-up call of things like everything has a positive and negative, and I'm learning that with the social media as I've embarked on doing it, that I'm trying to only put out real stuff. And if I catch myself getting out of the moment and posing for something strictly for posing, well, I'm probably going to do it. I'm going to probably mess up on occasion, but to have pictures of people who are in the 1%, and that 1% can be amazing people. They can help a lot of people. But to show an abundance of crystals that those things cost a fortune, I've heard. I don't have any crystals, but if they work, great. I will have a line of crystal suppositories coming out. So that is my one thing I've been creating because I believe, whether it's in taking alcohol in or CBD or cannabis, if you can do it suppositorily, is that a word? Suppositorily? Maybe. I think it's going to have the best delivery method. So, yeah, sometimes, am I telling the truth? Am I making things up? I like to leave it to interpretation. We'll just have to see if my line comes out of crystal suppositories. Okay, that said, I think that we need more than thoughts and prayers. I think prayers are great, but we need action, and we need people to engage in something I'm going to be talking about a lot, we versus me mentality instead of me versus we. And I think a lot of us are noticing that, especially Western culture, especially since social media has come to be such a prevalent thing, we have become a very me-centric society, and it's created this anxiety of missing out, FOMO, as the kids call it. I don't know what grandpas like me call it. I think we call it like well, everybody else is doing stuff and I'm sick in my tent and I can't do things. That's sometimes I would feel bad for myself. And that's also why I'm such a goofball, because when I feel good, folks, why do I just say folks? People. I don't know why I say folks. Sorry about that if it offends someone. I really am sorry. I don't want to offend anyone. Is that it's hard to explain. I think people are going to understand it when we're through this, because we're going to get through it. Once we get through this, people are going to have this euphoric feeling. And it's going to feel like if you've ever had a flu for the week and you're dying to get back to the gym or stuff and you get better. Imagine having a flu-like illness for 15 years and that you can't ever get that, you rarely get that euphoric feeling. But when you do feel better, you want to celebrate it. So when I feel good, I smile. I might seem overly optimistic. It's not an act. It's just, it's so amazing to do this with my hands and not have so much pain, to feel the edema of my pads of my fingers not blocking me from making a fist, which has been a lot of what I've been going through this last year, and to not be in severe pain from my injuries I have, from the inflammation that's built up in my body. That's why I'm so enthusiastic, and I'm not gonna try to color this always as it's gonna be all right. Of course, we all seeing that it's not gonna be pretty. A lot of people are gonna suffer. I might be one of them. And if we can reduce that, everyone stay at home. I will tell a story in another video about what I've been seeing with some people who are not paying attention and some conversations I have. And I hope it'll bring home a point about this we versus me. And it doesn't exclude almost anybody. A lot of people are affected by it, and I don't think it means you're a bad person. Just like anything, people can change. They need to be aware. And it's sometimes people, without experiencing something for themselves, they don't have this awareness. It's not just built in. So we have to allow, I guess, some grace and compassion for them, I believe. So I make some fun of it sometimes, and I have to be careful. But just know, if you watch my account and I make light of stuff, it's not with forgetting those who are suffering or those who have lost their lives. But I'm telling you what, if I get taken out by this, you can make as many jokes and stuff. I don't mind. I want people to laugh. So I know you don't need my license on that, but for me, that stuff doesn't bother me. And I think levity and laughter, if the right context and knowing someone's intention, for example, we become so overly reactionary to, was that comedian or that person, are they really like a horrible person, or were they making a joke and their intention wasn't to offend? Can we ask them first before we cancel them? I just hope we get more into that. I'm gonna end this now. It's a long video, I apologize, but cancel culture and all that is another topic, another day. For now, I just hope everyone is doing okay. Everyone has the food they need, has the security they need, and just try to cut the day into moments is what I would say, as what's working for me over these 15 years was, how can I get through a quarter of this day? Because maybe in the next quarter of the day, it's gonna get better. That's why when I take pictures of the sun coming through the clouds, those are in those moments, because sometimes it's cloudy all day and the sun peeks through. And it's a metaphor I like to use often to show that there is almost always, not always, if you're suffering from ALS and on dialysis room and you're on pain and there's nothing around, it's hard to find the silver lining. And I'm never gonna, that's why I say you can't be overly positive, but in general, for a lot of us, I think there is, I can speak for myself. I've been able to find silver lining. Not always. Sometimes I've catastrophized and I've been in that spiral down of negativity, and family and friends have just been disillusioned and left me, truthfully. And I don't blame them in some ways, because it's hard to be around that negativity. And I was in my feelings and feeling sorry for myself. And I don't blame myself for that. If you've ever gone through chronic illness and you've experienced loss, you have to also have grace with yourself. And I forgive myself for those things. And learning experiences for sure. All right, before I break down, love you all.